Digital Romance TV.
Hey folks, it's Michael Fiore from digitalromance.tv, and today's topic is...
Top 3 things that drive men wild in bed.
Because we are now Cosmo. That's what we're doing. You ever notice that every single episode of Cosmo is the sex issue?
It is.
And you know, those things are actually...
Have you ever been to their website?
No.
Oh my god,
Is it
it's just
like all the time?
Like moving and everything, there's like everything's
sex
scrolling and it's
and there's
all
usually
sex.
some really weird, like I remember reading like some Cosmo sex tips once, and you're like, one was like, you know, grab his testicles and pull down firmly. I'm like, don't do that to me. No, I don't want that. That's not sexually attractive in any way.
Well, there is a spot just under the testicles that when massaged nicely gives a good effect.
No, that's nice, but I don't want
pulling down firmly and then,
it's like a Watto thing or something like that.
So we're not actually going to tell you like the technical, clinical things that you should physically do to a man.
We could, I suppose.
We could share some of those, but it's not really. That's not really worth it so much as
we want
just
to talk more about like the attitudes that I think actually are more important sexually.
The top 3 qualities in a woman that drive men
these are
wild
actually
in bed.
way more important than particular technique
right?
tend to be. Granted, technique is great. There are some great things out there that can teach you specific things on blowjobs and handjobs and things like that. But we're going to talk more about like what do men really, who are the women that men fantasize about and desperately want to be with again once they've been with them once.
Yes.
And how can you be that woman even if you're married to that guy?
Besides just being me.
Besides just being her, I don't know anything about that, but I've heard. The number one thing I always say is actually eagerness, sexual eagerness to kind of be there. Right?
Yeah.
Is a big deal.
Enjoying the fact that you're there.
And this seems so basic because it seems like, well, obviously you should want to be there.
Right.
But so many women seem to have gone to the sexual finishing school of I'm laying here and letting you make love to me, and therefore I'm doing you some big favor.
I will say that I have been with men where that seemed like what they wanted.
Really?
So getting that over with and being done was kind of easier than trying to actually engage in any way.
Yeah, but I've always found that really disappointing.
Yeah.
Actually, weirdly enough, I remember when I was single, I would find that the more traditionally hot a woman was, usually the worse she was in bed.
Yeah.
Generally speaking.
Well, you know, it's that somebody was just talking about this to me recently, the whole like, you get the sex over with so that you can wake up the next morning and like, I just woke up next to this really hot chick.
The sex was totally unimportant.
Sex was like, you know, non-existent really.
But it seems like there's an attitude that some women and some men have, by the way, around the idea of, well, I'm allowing you to bask in the glory of my beauty and possess me in this way.
You know who I have found to have that is men with large penises.
Oh yeah.
They expect that that's enough.
Yeah.
Right? Like somehow, here it is. It's my giant cock is enough of a turn on and like fills every need that a woman has in bed.
Literally fills every need. Literally, it's like it's so big. It's kind of like it's like the Blob, but it's kind of fills
excessive,
every
really. I mean, like engage. Come on.
So if any guy is watching this, your penis size is reasonably important. It's not that important.
No,
let me tell you.
really.
It's like number 6 on the list. Honestly, we'll make the list at some point. But eagerness, just like an enthusiasm to actually be there, an enthusiasm to want to have sex with that particular guy. In our secret survey
and I think that goes into
I was ranting.
Go ahead. Responsiveness.
Responsiveness is a big one. Yes.
So if having that give and take within the, and I think that I know that that's a really big one for women too, but I think for men it is as well. That if you're showing appreciation for what they're doing and responding in turn, and those things build upon each other. The fact that you're turning me on turns you on. That back and forth.
Yep. I think eagerness and responsiveness together just show, or enthusiasm and eagerness and responsiveness show a certain level of having fun with the entire thing. And I talk about this a lot in our secret survey program, which I was going to say, about how most men never feel sexually appreciated or objectified in their entire lives, right? Like women simply don't look at men the same way that men look at women. And even in bed, it's really rare for a guy to really feel like he's wanted on a sexual level, as opposed to just like, okay, well, we're partners and going from there. What's the third one?
Openness.
Openness. Openness to new things. Now, that doesn't mean you have to, tie yourself up and wear like, pink frilly kind of things or things like that, but a willingness to see sex as more than just missionary position on a Wednesday night, basically. An enthusiasm and an eagerness to kind of try to see what sex actually can be, It can be hard, especially if you come from a religious background, to see sex as more than just this very basic thing. But as we've said in many of our videos and a lot of our programs, a good sex life, it's hard to have a bad relationship when you have a good sex life. It's still possible, by the way, but much harder to kind of pull off. So
Doesn't
go
mean
ahead.
you have to be open to cameras or
No.
filming, especially with
No.
revengeporn.com out there. Just
That exists. Oh man, I'm sad about that. No, never do anything you're not comfortable doing, but be open to pushing your boundaries.
within the privacy of just the two of you.
And no cameras. Don't film things that you don't want to end
But
up on
I
the
also
internet.
think that when you are confident, even as a submissive player but if you're confident within the bedroom, that men really enjoy that as well.
They do. So we're going to end this one. If you want to know more about the sexual mind of men, you can check out our secret survey program. There's a link for it right down here. It's kind of a guided tour of what goes through men's mind, both sexually and romantically, and what they really want on a deep and powerful level. And you can get more videos from us at digitalromance.tv. And please subscribe to our channel. You'll be happy you did. Thank you.